Hey everyone, this is not the typical content on this channel, but I was working on a project and I didn't see any other videos on YouTube that addressed the problems that I was having, so I decided I would record a little bit of what I was doing and maybe it'll help somebody else out. So we're working at carpeting these stairs. This is a little fixer-upper house that my wife and I are working on, and we ended up going with carpet that has this foam backing already on it. So if you would go on YouTube and look at all of the other carpet videos on how to carpet stairs, almost all of them are going to have the traditional carpet that does not have this foam backing. And you just do a Google search and you type in carpeting stairs with carpet padding, and it says it's doable and user-friendly. That's not necessarily what I found, but we're making it work. So I would really suggest looking at some of the other YouTube videos done by like the Southern Boys. They have lots of good flooring videos, but I'm just going to show you a little bit about how I'm attempting to do it with this particular type of carpet that has foam. So if you would have a normal type of carpet that is just carpet and then you're putting down a foam backing, you would have these pieces of wood. They've got nails that are in at an angle. You know, you'd have one on the back, you'd have them on the sides here with the nails pointed, angled towards the wall, and then you'd have them here and here. But because there is foam padding on this already, the nails are not going to grip into it. They're just going to grip into the foam, and it's not going to actually work. We would also still need padding down on top of here, because if we didn't have that, these, you know, there's a little bit of thickness to those boards, and so we'd have these stairs with a hump on the outside and on the back, and then it'd be flat. So it just does not work to use these things with carpet that already has padding. So what we did instead, get these out of the way, is we got this double-sided carpet tape, and it is not as forgiving as the nails are. This stuff is very sticky. You peel off this on the back and then you lay your carpet on there and it does not move once you hit it on there. So the normal way that you'd go about doing this, if you had the nails and everything, is you kind of get it set up, you'd kind of jimmy it around, and then you would push it into place, and then you would stamp them into the corners and get rid of any excess in there. With this, you need to have it cut almost exact to your sides, because you don't have any place to go with your extra carpet. So if we had our wood in here, we'd have a little bit of a gap. You'd put this away from the wall a little bit, and then any excess that you'd have on the edge, you could just push down in there. We don't have that. It's just flat. So a few of the tools that I'm using, I've still got, this is all, I just picked these up at Menards. This is a little pusher tool that I use on the crevices to push those in real nice, and we can still tuck in on the sides. I've got electric stapler. I do have this knee pusher, which, to be honest, I'm not really using very much, just because once it hits the sticky tape, it is stuck. It's not going anywhere. We've got our double-sided tape. We've got the carpet. I got a cheap knife, rubber mallet to hit that thingy with. And actually, I've got a scissors. Cutting this carpet is almost easier at times with the scissors, especially when you're doing getting some of your fine details on the corners and edges. So what I've done so far for my first time ever carpeting, I'm okay about it. I wish I could do a little bit better knowing what's possible, but for our purposes, it's working just fine. So I'll explain a little bit how I'm going to do this, and then we'll maybe try to record me actually putting it on. So I already have this piece. It is pre-cut. The sides are where I want them to be. The length is fine. For putting it on just a straight stairs, your length can be, you know, longer. It's easier to cut off the length. The sides take a little bit of jimmying around, since you can't push any excess in once you remove the tape. So I'm going to take off the tape on the bottom and then get this lined up and push it in, staple it just a little bit to hold it. I do have a little bit of excess here than what I probably need, but to be honest, it's just going to be that way. And then after I get the bottom attached, I'll take this off. I've got this masking taped here because this is an area that's going to get a lot of wear on the stairs, and it'll slowly eat away on the foam, and this just helps keep the foam living a little bit longer. That's a tip I picked up on another YouTube channel. So start at the bottom, get that attached, then move up over this, and then slowly attach things as I go. I don't rip off all the tape and then stick it on. That's only asking for trouble. So that's what's going to happen. We'll see if we can record me doing it. Okay, so first thing I'm doing here is taking off this tape. It's not coming off very cooperatively. Ideally, this would have been just a little bit higher. You can see that since this other one comes up underneath it, it's causing issues getting this off. And throw that down there. So then I take this, and I gotta be real careful because as soon as this back touches the sticky tape, it is stuck. So I'm starting in the middle. Sometimes, depending on the stairs and the shape of the stairs, I've found it's almost as easy just to start on the edge. That way you don't end up with any sides that are off kilter. Because if you start in the middle, you can't pull or move it. So depending on your comfort level, once you have one end square and tight, you can start at one end and go across. So then I'll take my little thing here and just make sure that's creased in there real well. So that's stuck. Just to make sure it's gonna hold, put just a couple staples down here. Okay, so that's there. Now I get up to the bull nose here. So I'll pull my carpet back now that it's attached there, and I'll take off this side. And something I should note, if you look at this carpet here, when you have carpet and you go against the grain, it gets darker, and then you can flatten it and it goes lighter. The other videos I saw, and I would probably agree with them, you want it to go downhill coming down. So if I go against this, it stands the fibers on end. You want them to go down the stairs. So I've got this all ready to push up against the nose here. And I'll start in the middle and slowly work my way up. Again, I don't want to start at the top and push in because it's stuck and I'll have a bubble here. So I find where my crease is and go across there. And I did my best to dry fit this before I did anything, because if I have any extras on the side, I don't have a lot of room to push in. I can push in some extra, but not a lot. So I'll take and pound this up again. Make sure it's creased well. With this foam backing, I don't think you're going to get as sharp of a nose as what you maybe would with the woven back. And these are old stairs. I think that's part of my issue. Ideally, you'd stick this all the way up underneath. I can't get all the way underneath with this nail gun. So it is what it is. Okay, and then if you come up on this step here, see, I can pull this down. The staples are holding that in place. And I can pull these off now. And this is a little bit tricky because you need to keep it tight as you go up the stair. And this is where normally you would put it up and then take your knee kicker and tighten it all the directions, but you don't have that option with this sticky tape stuff. So I am doing my best to compress it as I come back here. not do a good job. I do have a bubble in here, and that just annoys me because I know that there should not be a bubble. But since it's sticky taped down, I just have to live with it. I can't tighten it anymore. So that is a huge drawback to using this carpet with the foam padding, is it just is not forgiving on the installation. If I were to pull this off the sticky tape, it would rip the backing off the foam, and it just would not work. So then you crease down here. Make sure you have a good crease there, and put a couple staples just right there. And then you repeat on up the stair, and we'll have a little bit extra here, and I'll cut that off. When I do the landing, we'll come down over top and hide the seam in that spot. So that's how I'm attempting to do this carpet with the foam backing on these stairs. It's not up to my perfectionist standards, but I think it'll get the job done. So hope that was helpful. I'm not the person to answer any of your questions, but there's lots of other YouTube information out there. So if you attempt to do this on your own, good luck.